You've did well to reach our page so far. Make sure you follow, share, subscribe, and like. We are proud to announce that we've partnered with Core Assist Disability Services. If you or anyone has a disability, you can follow and contact Core Assist, and they will go above and beyond to help you all over Australia. We've also partnered with Imperial Glass and Timber for all your timber needs. This panel, Imperial. We love Imperial. From bespoke joinery to standard joinery, they have it all.
Mate, you're a busy man, and speaking of a busy man, I have with me the founder of Stay True BU, Mustafa Ardeti. What a pleasure, what a honor.
Thank you. It's an absolute pleasure being here today.
I kid you not, the pleasure is all mine because, you know, I've known you for a long time, subhanAllah, and you are truly an inspiration.
Thank you.
Allah yubarik fik.
Allah.
There's so much to talk to with you. I remember years ago we crossed by and we hadn't seen each other for a while. Then all of a sudden you told me that, I've just come back from the Paralympics.
I'm working towards the Paralympics.
Now you're working towards the Paralympics.
Yeah. So I haven't been there, but I'm working towards.
But didn't you win you won a medal?
Yeah, I won. I've been winning I represented Australia before in soccer, wheelchair soccer, wheelchair hockey. So I've done that before, but I left those sports because they're not in the Paralympics.
So okay, that's what it was.
Yeah, that's what it was. And currently I'm taking a new sport on, but that's in the Paralympics, and I've only been playing 15 months now, and subhanAllah, every comp I've done, I've at least finished in the semi-finals.
Wow.
Quarterfinals. I've won 2 silvers, 2 bronze, and a gold.
So when I remember you won medals, are they for national championships or?
Yeah, I won for New South Wales.
New South Wales.
Yeah, I went to New Zealand as well. On my own I want to test myself over there.
You love challenging yourself, don't you?
The harder something is, the more rewarding.
Say that again?
The harder something is, the more rewarding.
And then I find out as well, mashallah, that you've enrolled at uni and you have a passion for studying.
I think the best way to say I have a passion to make a difference in life. That's my biggest passion, really.
And that's the meaning of what you found, the mantra or the slogan, Stay True, BU.
Yeah, it's because when I was younger, I was always told to be something I'm not, someone who I believe I shouldn't be. And I thought this new generation coming up, they're trying to follow the crowd and not stand out. I believe that we all can stand out in our own way.
And you've definitely have been standing out for quite a long time, mashallah. You, what do you do? Tell me about yourself now. So what do you do at uni?
I'm studying clinical psychology. So I'm currently doing my thesis, the final research project. So inshallah by September, October, I can register as a provisional psychologist. And then I'm intending to do a doctorate in clinical and sports psychology.
You love sports, don't you?
I love sports.
Yeah. So on top of being an athlete, because you are an athlete, mashallah, wheelchair hockey, wheelchair football, soccer.
Yeah, and bocce now is my new favourite sport. So that's the one I have my eye on. I'm hoping to get into 2028 Paralympics.
That's your goal?
That's my goal, but if not, I feel like, because I've only been playing a year, if my main goal is to make the Australian team before then, and if I make it there, if not, the 2032 Paralympics is Australia, so that's really my ultimate goal right there.
I love how you've set yourself a target for 2028, then you've also set yourself that, yes, if in the event that you don't make it, you still have another opportunity.
100%. Like, for me, no, everyone told me, in 12 months, you're not gonna, make, example, New South Wales win silver medals, gold or bronze. I'm already achieving that. So, in a new sport that I've never played in. So,
What's that sport called? Butcher?
Butcher.
What's it?
So it's like, imagine, there's a white ball.
Yeah.
And I've got you've got blue or red balls.
Yeah.
Right? So what happens is the person that gets the balls close to the jack
Yeah.
gets the point.
That's I'm looking at it now. So that's like
Lawn balls.
Wow.
Right? But the thing is, every ball is a different feel to it. So there's super soft and all the way super hard.
Wow.
So it's all about strategy, tactics. For example, if you roll the jack, the white ball, and you kiss the jack, right? So you got a really soft ball kissing the jack. The only way I can knock out that ball is to slice it with a hard ball.
Wow.
If you hit it with a soft ball, it's not going to move.
So it's like playing chess.
Pretty much.
And you love those strategies.
I love strategy. Yeah.
And you were into IT, and I remember computers and
Yeah, when I was younger,
yeah,
I had my own business in web design, graphic design.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah, I'm glad that I left that. Honestly, I don't regret it because I still utilize those skills. Example, my logo, I designed it.
Stay true, be you.
Yeah.
What do you think of this logo?
Pretty good. I love it.
Yeah. And what do you think of the studio?
It's really good, mashallah. Yeah.
2 words that'll change the way you deal with pain forever. Physio, motion, where Mo really puts you back into motion. You've heard about the infamous knee reconstruction that I've had, the chronic back pain that I've had, and one man helped me go back into motion. Not just that, helped me go back to playing sport when I thought I needed surgery. His name? Physio Motion. Contact him now and mention Chronicles of Faith podcast, and he will ensure that he gives you a tailored program that suits your needs. Don't feel like you're alone with the rehab, whether it's post-surgery, pre-surgery, back pain, lower leg pain, any type of muscle pain. Physio Motion will get you back into motion. Mashallah, once we invited you to do to be a guest speaker at an event, and may Allah protect you, I still remember that I told you at the time, or we told you that it's at this place and you need to catch a train and whatnot, and you said, don't worry about that. And I'm like, what do you mean don't worry about that? And so it's normal for you to, you've been catching trains all your life, and
I've been catching them since I was 15. I don't look like my age, but I'm 39, so
mashallah.
Yeah, I literally been to places where people are like, you're 28. I'm like, perfect for my age. I still look young.
I thought you were closer to me in age.
No.
Mashallah.
But even when I was younger, I felt I was a lot wiser for my age.
Yeah, you were. So you caught a train. I think you caught 2 trains, and then you also rode by yourself to the venue, and then we asked you, we'll take you home, and you said no.
No.
I make my own way.
Yeah.
And even now, I told you I'll arrange for transfer for you, and you said no, don't worry.
No.
I've sorted it out.
No need for it.
So speaking about your younger, do you mind sharing about your experiences with your condition and overcoming?
Yeah.
It must have not been easy initially being raised amongst the community with the condition that you have, then overcoming those challenges and obstacles.
What I've realized over time is that there's a lot of stigma around disability, especially with the Eastern community. Unfortunately, like my parents, they have the best of intentions, but coming from a third world country and so on, where they had the war and all that kind of stuff, they believe everything the doctors tell them. Your son can't do A, B, C, D. So my whole life growing up, they kind of believed that China thought that Mustafa is going to need 24-hour care.
Wow.
He's going to be in a nursing home by the age of 30. He's not going to be able to work or study, all that kind of stuff. You know, so for me growing up, it was like, okay, initially I did things because I wanted to prove people wrong.
Mm.
But now I'm doing things because I want to prove me right. You know, I feel that's why I have such a greater sense of purpose and passion. I'm doing things because I love doing them, not because they want me to do them. Or when I was younger, it was like that. I'm going to do this because you said I can't. Now it's like, no, I want to. I'm going to find a way, kind of thing. Yeah.
And of course, Allah has empowered you to be able to do these things. That
Alhamdulillah for everything.
that you've set your goals or your eyes towards, and I'm absolutely speechless, subhanAllah. So you've said that initially when you were younger, and it comes with maturity and age as well, that you did things to prove people wrong. Now you're doing things to prove yourself right.
Yeah.
And when did that change for you?
I think when I was about 15 years old, I think I was 12. I remember fondly, my parents used to, I would like, leave me at home. I'm alright, I don't need to be looked after all the
24/7
time.
kids, yeah.
24/7. They left me home. I think I was around 13, 14, for like half an hour. They came back and I was eating like chicken nuggets. Well, my parents were like, huh? You didn't go in the house? I'm like, I know how the grill works. Like,
Wow.
like little things like that I started just doing by myself.
So you started to show people that you are able to be independent. Show your primary carers, your parents, that you can be independent.
I think it's important to realize that for everyone that we all need help with something,
Of course.
right? So there's things I can help you with that you can't help me with,
Allah.
and vice versa. But the thing is, out there the mentality is, it's wrong to ask for help.
Yeah.
It's not wrong. It's the right thing to do, but you just gotta figure out, at least try and do something on your own first. Don't be like, this is too hard. It's like this younger generation is like, I'm not bothered.
Yeah. Have you noticed that?
Like, anytime my nephew says, I can't do something, I go, yeah, I can't walk. What's your point? He looks at me and goes, I'm cool. Like, they got no comment because they know that it's just an excuse. They're being lazy. They want everything to come to them. It's just this generation, unfortunately, I feel like they're just used to everything going their way, kind of.
So you and I, Mustafa, we grew up where we had to wait between each commercial break to watch movies, and we had to wait 1 week to watch the show.
Yes.
We couldn't watch on demand where you press play and you have 10 seasons at your will.
Yeah.
That delayed gratification. And you've noticed that, huh?
This is actually a funny story. I remember telling my nephew that 3 years ago now, I go, stop skipping those ads on YouTube. Eventually, they're going to make you watch them. And now they're making people watch them. He's going, I can't watch commercials. I'm like, they used to be my favorite thing. Because remember when we were young, we watched commercials and we're like, yes, we can get up, get a drink, get food, popcorn, or anything, right? And now they're so impatient. They want so quickly. And then even if they're watching something, they're not really watching. They want to know why, what happened. Like, watch, you're watching like I'm watching. That, and want everything so quickly that they're not really appreciating the little things in life.
No, they're not.
No.
And you're one that, treasures these little things in life.
Always.
When did you decide that you're going to go to the gym, for example?
I mean, that started when I started university. It was funny. When I applied for uni, subhanallah, initially, when I did that computer science, I wasn't going to apply for uni. My mum goes, apply. Yeah, you're smart enough. You got
Oh.
good HSC scores and all that kind of stuff. I go, you know what? I'm just going to apply for one university. Where others apply for 10.
You applied for 10?
No,
Others apply for 10. Yeah.
I'm not, oh, if I get in, I get in. It's just fine. And subhanAllah, I got into UTS. That was around 2021. And then from there, I met this guy at the gym. And he helped me on my journey.
That's right.
And from there, the more independent I got, the more confident I got. Remember how bad my speech
Yes.
used to be?
I remember.
Yeah, so I worked on that through exercise, breathing, all that kind of stuff. So I put hours and hours of work in. But yeah, and then from there I just pursued sport. I played sport since I was 12 years old, really. But yeah, at that time I did computer science and I did masters of project management. So I've got a lot under my belt.
So what have you studied? Computer science?
Project management.
And you finished project management?
I started like 2 units ago,
So you've only got 2 units left in project management?
but that was like years ago.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? I'm not happy doing this. Stuff this. I'm like, bye-bye, see you later.
Oh, then you went from
But
computer...
it was really funny because my mom's like, why are you stopping? I'm like, I'm doing this, but I don't love it. Like, it didn't feel right.
It didn't get you going.
No. And at the same time, I left web design, graphic design, and I just felt so much happier.
But you opened up your own company.
Yeah. I had a web design company and then I switched to Stay True to You because I felt like it's more what I want to do in life. I want to impact people worldwide and help them become the best versions of themselves.
So Stay True BU was a concept designed to encourage, to motivate and inspire the next generation, right?
Yes, that's right.
What's the core message that you wanted to share when making Stay True BU?
I feel it's really important for people to understand that we need to, like, if you believe in yourself and you be true to who you are, I truly believe anything in life is possible.
Okay.
So, for me, the thing is, a lot of people, sometimes they have that belief deep down,
Yeah.
but because they're not being who they want to be, they're kind of faking it. It doesn't really work out the way they want to, because they're not being their authentic self. And for me, being authentic self is what really makes a difference. You gotta stay true to who you are to succeed in life. And, like, if you think about it, in life, we live, we learn, we grow. And if you're not learning and growing, you're not really living, are you? You're not in it. That's how you experience life. You know, it's subhanAllah, if you think about it, we all have a different exam paper in life, right? So there's no, like, that's why I always tell people there's no point copying other people if we all have a different exam paper. Like, what works for me isn't going to work for you.
That's true.
And what works for you isn't going to work for me. And it's another reason why I kind of want, when I do motivational speaking, I want to be different to all of these famous speakers out there because they all recommend interventions and stuff. But I really believe that there's no one way or one size that fits all. You got to figure out what feels good for you, kind of thing.
And I can attest to that with your website, Stay True BU, beautiful green logo with a big fist in the middle.
Yeah.
I love the way it's popping out of the wall.
Yeah.
And the cracks on the wall or the star.
Well, if you're not a designer, I'd like to make it like animated, you know, like,
yeah, we can arrange that.
explosive.
Yeah, like a video, like a GIF.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would look pretty good.
We'll work on that. I know a designer or two. All right. You have be yourself.
Yep.
Better yourself.
Yep.
And believe in yourself. Is that the 3
yourself.
B's?
Yep, 3 B's.
3 B's.
Yeah.
And why Stay True BU ? Why?
Why? I mean, because if you're not being who you are, then like I think the question, like, imagine for me when I wake up in the morning, right,
Yeah.
and I look in the mirror, I want to be happy with what I see in the reflection.
Mm.
If you're not being who you are,
Yeah.
you're never gonna have that internal happiness.
That's right.
You never will. Yeah.
And I'm reading more on your website. This is when you had short hair.
Very short hair.
It suits you, but I love that you've brought back the long hair. That's the vintage Moustie.
The vintage,
The vintage, right?
right?
So you've got I love how it's got in green and in bold and black. The only true limitations we face in life are the ones we impose on ourselves.
Yeah.
And that's what you've been speaking about the last
Yeah.
20 minutes.
Yeah.
Right?
Pretty much.
And that's on your website.
That's right. That's right.
Now, you've got there, my name is Moustie, and it says your age, and you were born with cerebral palsy.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate on that?
Yes, so cerebral palsy affects my fine motor skills, my speech, coordination, and so on. So, but like over the years, I've improved a lot, alhamdulillah, like
Alhamdulillah.
500%, if not more. When I was young, I was very contort, so my body would not move, couldn't move my limbs and that kind of thing. But over the years, I've been able to stand up, walk a bit, and that kind of stuff. You know, I still need help with some things that I feel like we all do, so that's fine.
I still need help with something.
Of course, we all do, and I think that's the big thing that drove me towards psychology, though. You know, I'm a qualified coach and counselor, but that's what I love. I'm fascinated about the mind, and my favorite self-made quote is, "One's mind is the powerhouse to one's inner museum."
One's mind is a powerhouse to one's inner museum.
Yes.
So what I understand by that is that your mind is capable, once triggered and programmed correctly, and when you're able to wire your mind and understand your mind properly, it'll be the opening to this large museum that's never ending, that keeps on learning.
Yeah. And what I mean by inner museum, I mean your body, your heart, your soul, pretty much. Your inner museum.
Oh, so your actual organs.
Everything.
Everything, not just your mind itself.
No, because the mind controls the body. Right? So when I was younger, I practically needed 24-hour care. Right? And I was told, you're only going to get worse. So it was, for me, right now reflecting on it makes me smile, because I look at it and like, all these poor, like, boys and girls growing up being told the same thing as I have. I'm like, if they had the same determination and outlook and perspective that I do, they can achieve anything in their life. You know, when I was young, I was told, you're going to be in a nursing home, age of 30, you can't do this, can't do that. And I'm like, okay, one by one. So, example, I want to get myself into bed on my own. I'm going to figure it out. I don't care how long it's going to take. If it takes me 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, eventually I'll get it done. But these days, too many people give up too quickly. They're like, oh, I tried it twice, 3 times, I can't do it. Why you can't? If you really want to do it, you'll find a way how to do it. There's no limitations.
I remember we once, in that seminar that I'm talking about years back, you and I, we did an analogy where we had the word can't, I can't.
Yeah.
And then we moved to the next slide, and we had the T and the apostrophe vanish.
Yes.
And it changed to what?
I can.
Remember that?
Of course.
You remember? I can. How long did it take you to jump into bed by yourself?
I pretty much worked it out quite quickly, honestly.
Of course you did.
Yeah. Initially, physical things feel so out of reach, because it's not because they're hard, it's because they're really foreign to my body. right? So it's my mind is a lot stronger than my body, but that's also my downfall. So what I mean by my downfall is that I'm really so strong, like headed that I'm like, I'm gonna find a way that I remember when I had a minor injury, the injury became worse because
Let's stop.
not just that, I had such a high pain tolerance.
Oh,
Because my whole life I went in pain.
Allahu
You
Akbar.
know, so when I had this is gonna be a graphic story for people, but I remember I took my first steps on my own when I was about 32, 33, roughly.
And you documented that, right?
Yeah, I documented all
Watch.
that. I was getting really independent, in bed on my own, all that kind of thing. And then subhanAllah, I had a minor tear in my labrum.
And labrum?
Yeah.
In your shoulder?
No, it's in my hip.
On your hip, yeah.
Hip.
The joint.
Yeah, in the joint. Anyway, I was really having it, doing the appropriate thing to get it better. Slowly it was getting better. Initially, I didn't know I had a tear. Because I'm so used to pain, and I can fight through pretty much any kind of pain, in all honesty. That what happened when COVID hit, pandemic. And because of the pandemic, gyms got shut down. I can't really have physio shut down. Can't do anything. So what happened, unfortunately, all the progress I made in those 10 years, I went back like 20 years. Subhanallah. So mentally, I was cooked. Because what happened is that my spasms in cerebral palsy, spasticity and all that kind of thing.
Plasticity?
Yeah. My spasms got so strong that I tore the muscle off the bone.
In your hip?
In my hip, habibi. The pain, the pain and the cramp, it was the worst pain I probably felt in my life. But I didn't tear that muscle once. I tore it 3-4 times.
You know, I get my hip impinges, only impingement.
Yeah.
Or I pull my
They
muscle
hurt,
in my hip
they hurt.
and it hurts. But to think of that,
I tore it off the bone. And I remember, because I'm really good at researching, I remember telling the doctors, I remember, like every time I went to hospital, they gave me like, I don't know, 2-3 doses of morphine because the pain was so, and it still wouldn't hold the pain when it got that bad. Anyway, I remember telling them, look, they go, you can't hip surgery because you'll dislocate your hip. Because the spasms that I get, there's no point. But at the moment, I can't dislocate my hip. You know, it's locked in. Even though I have a shallow left hip, it still won't dislocate. It's fine. And they're like, I'm not okay. I'm not no need for surgery. You need some PRP.
PRP?
Yeah.
How do you know about PRP?
Research.
PRP, wow,
Yeah.
I've done PRP as well.
Anyway, and they're like, no, that's not going to work. I go, come on, bro, it's going to work. What do you mean it's not going to work? It's my only solution.
Wow.
They will not give me it.
Oh.
And then I searched. I found a doctor. He goes, you know what? Because you're willing to give it a go, I'll give it a go for you.
In your hip?
In my hip. Anyway, one injection, but it's like, I can't explain the pain anyway. It was like I was in the room, but not in the room anymore. With the bullet, my right with the bullet, you know, like I was gone, like, yeah. But after the third injection, I started to get a bit more mobile.
Once a week?
No, I had the injection initially every 4 to 6 weeks.
Oh, okay.
But the hardest thing for me was the first 2 because the muscle was off the bone pretty much.
Oh.
Yeah, so the thing is, if I had any spasm, any movement, I'm really tearing the muscle.
So just for people who don't know, I've had PRP in my knee as well. PRP is injections that's a regenerative therapy that uses a patient's own blood to stimulate healing in soft tissues and joints.
Yeah,
so
correct.
Especially in knees and hips and shoulders, or probably hips and knees where there's not much blood flow compared to other parts of the body.
That's correct.
So they'll use PRP, your own blood. They do something with it. I'm not going to go into the science.
Do you want to go into the science?
Of course you know it. Also known as autologous condition, plasma.
Plasma.
Yeah.
It's plasma replacement therapy. That's what
Plasma
it's called.
replacement therapy, that's right.
That's right.
And derived from whole blood. And then they inject it into the affected area.
Yes, and subhanAllah, it's really effective. It took me 5 injections to finally get full attachment back. But it's been 2 years now. I don't have my full range. I don't have my full strength. So I'm starting from scratch again in my left leg. Alhamdulillah, but thank God I'm not in pain anymore
Yeah,
like
alhamdulillah.
before. I still get that odd pain from the cold weather, but it's not like before. So
Yeah, I when it's really cold, I've had an ACL surgery on my knee.
yeah.
When it's really cold, I feel this one compared to this one.
Yeah.
Apparently, when they say when you have surgery, you're never the same.
Never the same.
Yeah.
I feel like it's not even the tear, it's the fear that happened from the trauma, right? So it took me a while for my mind to register, no, you're not going to get hurt the second you feel pain again. Because you're so traumatized. I was traumatized by tearing the muscle off the bone, not once, but a couple of times. And I can see your face. And I'm like, I'll never forget. But I think for me, what gave me confidence is that you can look this up. You'll be fascinated by it. But in 2017, I got diagnosed with trigeminal neuralgia.
What did you get diagnosed with?
Trigeminal neuralgia. Yes, trigeminal neuralgia, with that, it affects, it gives you electric shocks. So it affects the trigeminal nerves in your brain area, right?
Yeah.
And for me, I thought it was a toothache initially. And then the pain. Oh, I'll never forget this pain. I could not eat or drink for 2 weeks. Anyway, I went to hospital. They're like, I did my research about it. I actually had a feeling it was that condition. And the nickname for that condition is the suicide disease, because unfortunately 50% of people harm themselves within 2 days. And subhanAllah, I was able to handle the pain for 2 weeks with no medication for it.
So your pain tolerance is very,
Very, very high.
That high that you didn't know you turned the muscle off your hip.
Yeah. I can feel everything. I just...
Your patient.
It's just, I've been in pain my whole life. So I never really complain about...
So the trigeminal, if that's how you pronounce
that's correct.
Nerve.
Yep.
It's a chronic pain, neurological pain that affects the trigeminal nerve.
Yep.
Which is responsible for sensation in the face.
Yeah.
And in your case, your tooth. You thought it was your tooth.
Well, I had sharp electricity in my eye. My whole right side of my face was numb, and electricity. I could not see any light, any of that kind of stuff.
It says that the trigeminal nerve is a cranial nerve that has 3 branches.
That's correct.
Forehead, eyes, and nose.
Yep.
Cheek, upper lip, and upper teeth. Lower jaw and lower. So your face.
Yeah. Literally, my whole face was electricity.
Sudden, sharp electric shock, like facial pain.
Non-stop.
And what happened after you how were you treated?
I went to a neurologist. He recommended medication, which pretty much shuts off the nerve. But I did not like that medication because I was losing my memory. And I go, you know what? I know this disease is incurable, but I'm going to find a way around it. And this is what gave me my confidence with my hip. I did it once, I'm going to do it again, kind of thing. What happened with the trigeminal is I stopped looking at it as a condition. I treated every symptom one by one. So I had 15 plus symptoms. And I looked at them collectively and grouped them into groups of 2, 3, or 4. And I go, okay, what natural herb or remedy can help this? And then I've made my own cocktail of herbs that I drink until this day every day to keep the electricity away. And yeah, and I've even given it to people with migraines, and it actually helps them.
I'm surprised you didn't become a doctor.
Well, technically, I'm gonna be in clinical psychology.
Inshallah.
Inshallah.
But with all your experiences and research, you'd think that you might have became a GP. Mashallah.
Yeah,
You feel about it?
I feel like I wouldn't want to sit behind a desk all day.
You wouldn't know.
No. Like even when I finish my psychologist doctorate, my plan is to focus more on sports.
Yeah,
Psychology.
we love sports.
Because I want to be out there and be proactive and practical kind of therapist, not sit behind the table and tell me what's going on kind of thing. So
I feel like you and I can talk for another 2 hours.
that's why I was shocked to 45 minutes. I'm like, bro, I can talk to you for 2 hours on this podcast.
No, we'll definitely do another episode.
Inshallah.
Inshallah. Mustafa, when I invited you, you never hesitated once. You relished the opportunity and was so eager to jump on. We've been trying to do this pod for how long?
Ages.
And it wouldn't work. SubhanAllah.
No.
I was smack bang. I don't know what I had, but alhamdulillah, I'm fine. And then I thought it was best to delay doing this show. Alhamdulillah. But now that we're here, you're counseling me without realizing.
So, it's actually funny you say that. I remember my first counseling client really fondly in my placement. They walked in and they swore. I won't repeat what they said. They're like,
You so and so.
Yeah, not at me. At themselves, they're like, they're like, but I can't complain about what I wanted to. Because it was like, boom. And I'm like, yeah, I'm meant to be here. It was that moment where I was like, I'm meant to do what I'm doing right now because my disability is my advantage, right? I'm able to break those barriers because, example, we've all seen doctors, therapists out there, and we're like, you don't know what I'm going through. You don't know what it feels like to go through hardship and that kind of stuff. But when people look at me, they're like, oh, he's going to understand. It breaks that barrier straight away, right? I've had people open up a lot quicker because of that. I've had really funny reactions, people swearing, people taking, shocked, but in a good way, not in a bad way,
There are plenty of people who are going to be inspired by your story watching this podcast, and I can't wait to share this podcast in all honesty, inshallah.
Inshallah.
And if we can leave the audience with one last message as a future clinical doctor in sports psychology, what can it be?
I think if there's anything out there that you really want to achieve in your life, go and do it. Go for it. And if it doesn't work in the first go, that's okay. It's important to, I guess, the way I look at it, we can learn from every success and every so-called failure. Like for me, I don't believe in setbacks. So every time I get sick or something happens, people are like, oh, you had a major setback. I don't look at it as a setback. I go, alright, a setback, time for me to reflect and then move forward.
Where did you get this mentality from?
I have no idea. It's like I wake up one morning, I go, I've had enough. I'm not going to listen to all the negativity out there. I just want to do what I want to do.
You are an absolute superstar, mashallah. You sound like a sporting icon. The sporting icons who had setbacks after setbacks and became a sporting quote-unquote icon in rugby league and soccer and injuries, and then they became the best at the sport.
Yeah.
You were like that icon because that philosophy that you've just shared now is so touching that You don't believe you don't believe in setbacks,
No.
but you take them as an opportunity to sit back, reflect.
Yeah.
What did I do wrong?
Yeah.
And how can I fix it? And what can I do better?
Yeah. And sometimes it's you did nothing wrong.
Yeah.
It's just like, okay, it wasn't meant to be.
Yes.
But next time, I'm going to approach from this angle. Or sometimes people dwell too much. So they're like, oh, this happened, oh, this happened. If you dwell on your past, you're going to stumble into your future. You can't move forward. How are you going to move forward if you keep thinking, oh, I wish that didn't happen. Why did that happen? Why did this happen? You can't move forward in life if you're thinking that way. Everyone in life loves something, has lost something, and is going through something, right? We all are. But it's how you, I guess, reflect on it with gratitude and forgiveness. And for me, what I've realized over the last 10 or so years is forgiveness and gratitude are a big part of our lives. But the biggest issue of forgiveness is not forgiving other people. That's actually the easiest. It's forgiving yourself is the hardest in life. If you think about when you do a mistake, you can forgive other people, but people find it really hard to forgive themselves in life. That's the hardest type of forgiveness. It's not forgiving someone else for doing bad on you. It's forgiving yourself to allow yourself to be put in that situation. That's why people dwell a lot and be like, oh, I should have done this. And I'm always like, have you forgiven, yourself? You're like, oh, I have no idea what to say. Because no one really thinks about that. You're like, oh, I forgive them. Like, yeah, but have you forgiven yourself? It's...
I should be paying you for this counseling session. It's a free counseling session. This one, you've got me reflecting and thinking, have I forgiven myself about 1, 2, and 3 that's on my mind?
That's the thing. That's what holds us back. Forgiveness and gratitude, right? Like we're always thankful for the little things, but you can't really move forward if you're not forgiving yourself. And like people are like, well, I'm happy. But are you really happy? Like what does happiness mean to you? Like everyone's happiness is different. So you can't just say, I'm happy and they're happy. It's like my picture of happy is different to yours. It's the same with forgiveness and gratitude. Everyone's life experience, even if they look identical, they're always different, depending on your perspective in life.
Our lens.
Yeah, exactly. On our lens.
Mustafa, thank you for coming on the Chronicles of Faith. You truly are an inspiration.
Barakallahu feek.
Ameen wa feek. I ask Allah to empower you and to strengthen you and to enable you to continue spreading your message
Amen, inshallah.
in hope of inspiring, motivating, and having those out there really to, forgive themselves before they forgive others.
Of course, yeah.
And to be grateful.
Amen.
Gratitude and forgiveness.
And forgiveness.
Stay true.
Be you.
Be you.